Welcome back to another episode of the Love, Health, Prosperity podcast. And as you guys know well, when I give information, I try to provide you with a lot of info that's beneficial to you. In this particular case, the topic today is going to be the dark personality types that are out there right now. They call it the dark triads. And in this particular episode, I'm going to cover certain things that I want people to watch out for, because when it comes to mental health and seeing personalities sometimes can be beneficial to understand certain types of behaviors that some people may have in everyday life. In this particular case, you have the dark triads, which is psychopathy, narcissism. You also have Machiavellianism, and also sadism. And those four things I want to go ahead and delve into because I want people to understand those personality types. If you do get it, then the chances of you recognizing certain people and certain symptomologies of it are going to benefit your life a lot, because it's going to distance you from people that sometimes don't have the best intentions for you. Now, I guess the thing that makes this particular topic difficult is the fact that when you're trying to be empathetic and try to give people a chance, there are always going to be other people that don't give you the respect that you need sometimes. Sometimes people fool you into trying to portray somebody that they're not. So this is where you have to be very careful and look out for these type of personalities, because they can be damaging to you sometimes. So the more you know about these types of characteristics, the better you're off, and the better choices you're going to make regarding how involved you get, especially if you're looking to get into a relationship, especially if you have friends that sometimes not even friends, but people that you're questioning, or if you're going to hire somebody for a certain job. These are certain things that you want to look out for. Now, what is the difference between those four things? Well, psychopathy, for example, if they were all in a room and they were to say to themselves, who is the most malevolent person, the psychopath would be like, I don't care. It doesn't matter who the most evil person is. The narcissist would say, well, of course, it's going to be me. No doubt about it. The Machiavellian person is going to be, well, it's going to be whoever I want it to be. And the person that has symptomologies of sadism might be, well, I'm just having so much fun watching these three fight, and it's very entertaining. So this is the reason why I like to talk about these personality traits. The first one is going to be narcissism. Narcissism, here you go. Here's some symptomology behind it. It's a grandiose sense of self-importance. They see themselves as people that are the most important, nobody else. Anything I do, anything I say, I need to have the spotlight on me. Fantasies about having or deserving certain things without even deserving them or working hard towards getting those type of things. A sense of superiority. I'm better than everybody else. I have the talents. I have X, Y, and Z to ensure that I'm this person and I deserve all that recognition. When in fact, sometimes they may not have any of those things. A need for excessive admiration. So anybody who's around the narcissist has to have that benefit. That narcissist has to have that benefit that this person's always going to look up to me and always praise me and give me nice compliments and make me feel good about myself all the time. And sense of entitlement. You think that the whole world owes you, that you don't have to give back to anybody. People should be thankful for your presence. That's the way a person who has narcissism thinks in those type of terms. A lack of empathy and frequent envy. So that is what covers the narcissist. The second one is going to be signs of Machiavellianism. And this particular personality type, again, is the type of person that likes to be in circles and create havoc within a system of friends. Symptomology behind it is only focused on their own ambition and interests, only the things that are going to give them some sort of benefit. They prioritize money and power over relationships. So it doesn't matter how nice or empathetic you are towards me. If I know that you're going to be vulnerable and you're going to fall for these type of things, I'm going to take full advantage of it, and I'm going to go ahead and take it from you. A good example of this I like is a movie that was created by, I believe, the producers, starring Hugh Jackman, that talked about bad education. If you've never seen that movie before, this is a good movie so that you can get a good example for what Machiavellianism is in society. It's people that take advantage of others and people that are willing to do anything to extract the most benefit for themselves and not for others. They exploit and manipulate others to get ahead. They lie, they deceive whenever they need to get their own way. They use flattery often, so a lot of times they can manipulate you and they can tell you nice things so that you could feel that they're making a genuine connection with you, but they're really not. They're in it for personal gain. They're in it to make sure that they accomplish their own goals, their own objectives, and it doesn't matter who's in the way. They lack principles and they lack values. So ensure that if you know of anybody that may come with you and rubs you in that manner, be extremely careful and take precaution. The next one we're going to be talking about is psychopathy. And with psychopathy, we see it a lot on popular television. You see series about this killer or this person that does damage to a lot of other people and doesn't seem to take accountability for it. And the reason they do this is because this is just the way they were wired. A lot of people have that question. Why are people born this way? There's reasons for that. There's research that's done, but there's no real thing that can actually attribute, because every personality is different and everybody's upbringing is different. So there's different ways that a mental health professional would diagnose it. But signs of psychopathy would be behavior that conflicts with social norms, being anti-law, disregarding or violating the rights of others, not respecting other people's boundaries, inability to distinguish between right and wrong. So it's like, or it's totally wrong to drive, I don't know, the opposite direction, or it's totally wrong to insult people out of the blue, or that it's totally wrong to steal from somebody, but you do it anyways. It's kind of one of those things where you just lack that empathy. You have a tendency to lie to others with any type of regret or remorse whatsoever. You're manipulating and you hurt others, and it doesn't really faze you at all. Reoccurring problems with the law. These are signs of people who have psychopathy within them. And the last one I want to talk about is going to be sadism. It's a tendency to derive pleasure from the suffering of others, whether it's physical or emotional. Some people will just get their kicks off of watching other people suffer. And this is where we have to pay a lot of attention also with the things that we watch on the internet, or the things that we let our children watch on the internet. Because sometimes we have a child or a person that's looking at videos that are violent. Maybe a fight, maybe somebody getting shot, maybe something so graphic that's traumatic. And instead of, internalizing that and saying, you know what, I don't think this is good for me. You gain pleasure from seeing those type of things. You gain pleasure from seeing other people suffer, from other people having bad luck. And for some strange reason, you like it and you see it as a part of life now. These are certain things that you have to make aware, especially for the people that are around you, especially for the people that you love. If you do care for them, and if you do notice that some of them have any type of these traits, you want to be careful. You want to take the precaution and direct them towards getting help, because unfortunately, people that have these type of traits often don't end up well. I'm not saying in all cases, but they do affect people's lives. And we want to live a life that's prosperous. We want to live a life that's loving. We want to have family around us. We want bonding. We want positive communication. We want a bunch of good things. And sometimes when we have people that are not for that, then you're going to have to reflect and see if those people you truly want in your life. Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. We'll see you guys next week.